All right, back at it again here. Let's do round 2 of this thing. So now I'm gonna make a new body. Basically, I have my trailer frame here. I started 3D printing just what I have right here, and it's way small. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make it bigger in the slicer program of the slicer program. I'll just do it by percentage. So like if I can make it, twice as big, then I'll just multiply my numbers by 2. And I think I'll be able to figure out how to do it. Okay, so let's now make, okay, so we have our other body here. So what we need to do is make an arm that comes off of here. So we're going to want to be on this plane when we make a new sketch. So new sketch, we're going to be on this plane right here. Okay, let me just make sure that went. Yeah, so that went into that body. Okay, so what we needed to do, let's roll this around the other way. Okay. It's going to need to start here and go back to, I think it's like 13 inches. I measured how far back. Let's see. Yeah, so 13 inches back to the axles over here, and it's 13 inches back from here to there. Okay, so 13 millimeters back is where we'll end up at. So we're going to need some squares. So how many? I think this thing was 7 millimeters over is about where that is. So let's mute this one. So actually, how many was it? 2.5 millimeters down to the hole? I think that's what it was. Let's see. So it'd be 2.5 millimeters up and 7 millimeters over, right? Where our start would be. Okay, our geometry lines are on. So basically, let's get a polyline because I think we want the end of this to be round. I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just make it square. So I guess we should just deal with only squares because I'm gonna cut this out of square tube and then just weld it together. So how it actually looks doesn't really matter. So 7 or 13 millimeters would be about 6 millimeters over, because if this is 7, oh wait though, because what's 7 is actually this thing here. So let's do a construction line. So let's see. Let's go to the left one and then let's mute this again. Get a construction line out, which we'll just do this. Okay, so we start here and go over, and then we make that one 7 millimeters. That puts us into the hole, which it needs to be 13 millimeters from like the edge, right? Which, how far is the edge from there? It's probably, I think it's like 2 millimeters. I think from here to here was 5 millimeters. So let's say it's 2. So then we need to go 15 millimeters total over to get to the axle. But then we need to go a little bit further because we need to go past the axle, right? So it'd be 8 plus 7. So, but let's go 9. So 9 millimeters over is about where we're going to want to end up at. Okay. So let's take this one and we'll make it 9. So that'll show us about where we want our stuff. And then this dot, of course it's not going to let me pick the dot. Roll it over. Okay, so from this dot to this dot, I think needs to be 2.5 millimeters, right? Is that where our hole is? Oh, it's 2.5 to the top. So it's 2 millimeters. Okay, so if we kind of start our square like as if there was a hole in it there, then if we go back to, so basically it would start here and go down like that to there, and then it would need to be 5 inches below the frame, which the frame is got 3 inches here, so this needs to be 8 inches below this line, right? Minus 8 millimeters. So basically what we have is this is the bottom of the axle. This should locate the bottom of the axle, and we can kind of tell if we're close. If I roll this up, yeah, see, that's about where the axle lives. Looks like it's actually too far that way. But basically the axle is more or less centered in between these two. Oh, and I know why, because it's 13 inches. It's 13 inches from this line. And I added 2 inches to make it 15. But then I added another one to make it 16. So this is an inch too far this way. So really we should make this, let's see how 7 looks. 7 looks pretty close. The other issue that I have is that I messed around with this support too much because I had to, and I don't know if this line moved. This line right here might be 1 inch too far one way or the other, you know, but I'll be able to verify all this stuff. But this more looks like where the axle is. So let's do that. Okay, so we're just going to use squares here. Let's turn that off. We're just going to use square tube. Can I do it? Can't do a square this way though. So I'm going to have to use a polyline. Because basically I need to go like this. Okay. Gonna put these together. That one. Okay. So now let me move this a little so I can be a little bit more comfortable. Okay. So now what we need to do is the angle around these needs to be 40. What is it? Is it 40? Is it 90s? I guess they need to be 90s, right? Angle 90. Yeah. Because basically this is going to be like a 90. It's going to be like a square tube. So I don't know if it automatically makes these 90. Guess it doesn't. Might make this one 90. Yep. And it yelled at me. It's like, you already did that. Why are you trying to do that again? Okay, so that's going to be something like that, right? So now what I would like to do is do this out of inch tubing, which would mean that this piece would be an inch. So 1 millimeter. Okay. And then what we won't know, basically, if that's our points, then it would be something like this, right? And then, so this would attach to the axle on the top, right? So it would be something like that, the axle right here. And then, so basically we need to go around the axle with like U-bolts. And so we don't want this to be turned this way, right? So let's actually make this short. I mean, do we want to do that? I don't know if I want to do like this and then turn the pipe or the square tube, to where it like levels off. Or will that matter? Or because this bar's round. So like, trying to think. This will matter. I don't think it will because the bar's round. So it doesn't matter where you have something that's round and something that's flat that goes on it. It doesn't matter where it hits. We might have to get a little flat cup thing, or build one that goes around, like that are on, like to turn the round into a square. But so it won't matter. So that's good. So if we just leave that like that, and basically that's our starting point. And then we just need to build a bag support. But we're going to have to put in a cross member for the bags to hit on that goes across here. Right. Okay. So, and then, so let's start there. So let's turn this back off here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to define this one here, which is going to be what? It says 16.5. Okay. And then this and this, we want these to equal each other, right? To make these two equals each other. Okay, so now it's just complete machine. Now I just need to locate it. I don't know. Okay, something like that. That will kind of locate it. So now I just need to do one more. I don't know what it is. Okay, this way. Go from here. think we need to put a circle in. Well, let's just go from there to there is say minus 6.5. Okay, so now I have that, but now I need to make all of my other angles and stuff. Because here's kind of what I'm thinking about doing is like having this, but then, so if I need this to move 8 inches, basically I need this to go up 8 inches, where do I put my airbag? Going to swivel over here. I think the airbag is going to be somewhere near the middle, right? And so basically what I'm going to end up with is I could put the airbag, if I make my little ladder frame thing that I was thinking about making, then the airbag would be too tall. So I guess what we could do, kind of build a ladder frame thing here on this side and then have the airbag in the middle. Or, like basically just put, like I would put one up like this, and then, like that would be one sort of pipe. And then another pipe would go like across like that or something. That would be like another pipe. I think I can click this tool here and delete some lines. And then it will it will know what to do when we go to pat it. But then, so with this deal, then the airbag would be up here and it would push more into the deal and push more into my cargo area, which, it is what it is. I mean, it might have to, I don't know. So what I'm thinking is if we don't do that, I don't know why my control Z doesn't work on this. There we go. Because you're going to have like a tire basically right here that's a 16 from the center of this. So this down 8 basically to like here is the tire. So it seems like it would be better to go on the bottom and up. Does it? Or, I mean, the thing is that it's hard to say what's going to be the strongest and if that's going to be strong enough. Or I wonder if I could do both. And I wonder if any of this is even necessary. Like if I just did a double pipe, if I did another pipe on top of this, and then put the airbag up there, if that would be strong enough. Not really sure. All right, so if we do something like that, like I think this might be better because it's You know, I can just like put in ladders like this. So the issue with this would be is how low is this going to be to the ground? Am I going to be dragging it, you know, over bumps and stuff like that? Because the other way, if we're pushing the airbag up into the storage area, at least then we have ground clearance. But I don't know how much ground clearance we need, anyways. You know, just put some of these in here. Basically, that's what I would be doing. Is something like that, right? So we would delete this one. Wait, I think I need another. I think I need another line that comes down here, and then another line that comes over to here. I did that one wrong. Okay, so it would be something like this. You know, not exactly like this, but something like it. I think I need to get rid of this constraint here. Okay, so something like that. Can I delete this dot? No. So then the airbag would be up here. So I don't know what that's going to be like. Let's see. So the axle's under here. The front of the trailer is that way. So, I mean, how far is that low? Is that too low? I don't think it is, because you got to think too, the black tank is going to be hanging down in the front here, and it's going to have a thing underneath it. So I think this is going to be give me the best ground clearance. I mean, the best storage. And I'm really not going to be like four-wheeling this thing. It's just got to be able to get through dips. But this is going to be so close to the axle that I don't think that's going to be an issue to be that low. You know, I mean, obviously, like this is probably isn't going to look like this exactly. It's probably going to be squared up, you know, a little bit more square there, and have another tube. It's like if I weld two tubes together in this angle and then ladder it however I see fit, right? Like that's kind of what I was thinking. So should we pad this out? Let's pad it out to 2 millimeters. Okay. So there we go. Now let's move it, because I think that I did this with 2. Move it to attachment position. Okay. So what, 21? Was it 21? Let's see. 21.5. Is that what it was? Yeah, see, so that put us right there. In which obviously the mounting holes are not really working, you know, but they'll work in real life. But on here, since I messed with all this, since it was going to be too small. Okay, so I think that's all right, but the only issue I see is like this little sliver here that's not going to really work in real life. Let's redraw that. So what do we need to do? We need to take this line. Yeah, no. Stop. Okay, we need to get this. Just delete that line. Yeah, I don't know what issue I have here, but let's try to start over. Okay, now let me get rid of it. All right, so now let's do, what we'll do is this will actually come out and then go across with another one to here. All right, like that more. So, yeah, so this will kind of weld to that. We'll weld this to that and then do as many ladders as we can going up. Okay, so now if we pad that out again, errors. So it doesn't, I don't know what I did to this thing, but I did something to one of the, oh, I know what too. I think I need to have this open. Like it doesn't know, might not know what to do with this. So how do I delete a dot? Or can I not? Do I have to delete these two lines? I'll just do that. See if that fixes it. We want it to be like, you know, it could even have a little ladder at the end here, depending on how it works out. Okay, let's see if it'll do that. Well, I don't know what happened to it or why it won't pad. Let's try closing it and opening it again. Maybe if I delete some of these constraints, maybe I messed one up. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be better. Okay, let's see what that does. All right. I don't know why it's not working, but I guess we're starting over. Okay, body sketch on this plane. So I don't know if we need to go. Let's just draw it. So we're gonna do like that. I can't remember which way. I think I'm gonna go down. Yeah, so we're gonna go down like that. We're gonna go come up over something like that. We're gonna go up like that, and then over like that. Can I one and still be in the tool? Yeah. Okay. The outer bit. Then we're just gonna make some squares for the inner bit. Okay. We'll just worry about making it better later. Okay, so that's gonna be 2 millimeters, right? Right. Okay. So basically, if we just build something like that, that should work. I mean, and I'll just print 2 of those. So let's change the attachment here. Position to, what is it, 21.5. And that puts it in there. So something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. So here's the issue that I see though, is that the airbag is like 4 inches around or something like that. So depending on where it sits, let's look at this. If the airbag sits like right here where my mouse is, it goes up, it's going to run into this frame rail, but it depends on how much of the frame rail I cut out. So if the airbag is going to sit somewhere in here, but I got to weld the frame rail from here to here, I'm going to have to cut out a lot of the frame rail for the airbag to come up, right? So, but, oh, that's not going to work. This is going to have to move in more. Because the airbag, because even where I chop the frame, the airbag's going to have to clear it. So unless I offset the airbag, which I don't want to do, I want the airbag to be in the center of this. So yeah, I'm going to have to move this that way more. So let's go back. Oh wait, close this. Let's go to the position here. Let's actually move it to the other side of this mount. And then what we'll do is we'll put another mount over here more that will mount it, and then that will move it away from the center. So let's do, how many millimeters is this? Was that 1 millimeter? So if we move it to the other side, it would be 18.5 or 19.5? There we go. So 18.5. So something like that should work. So then the axle would attach right here, somewhere in here. So we would need, this is the trailer suspension. Can you see how it's the trailer? So we need to put like a swing arm on it, like this part. And then we need to put an airbag like right here. So the airbag will push down on this swing arm and lift the whole trailer. But see, we're going to have to put a cross member in right across here. What I'm trying to do is 3D print a model of this so that I can test it. So what we need to add in is a cross member all the way across here in the frame. And then, or should I do cross members this way? Because I could just come off of the frame over to the airbag. But it'd probably be better to go all the way across. So, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to 3D print this and kind of play with it and see. So anyways, I'm going to end this stream, but thanks for watching and, hopefully your models work out. But this is helping me to learn, so thanks. Bye.